Games rated E to M. Welcome to Nintendo Power Podcast. This episode, we prepare for our deserted island getaway in Animal Crossing New Horizons and stay to the end to hear a music track from the game. My name is Chris Slate, and joining me today are Bill Hutchins from Nintendo Treehouse. Hi, Bill.
Hey.
And Kristen Copeland, also from Nintendo Treehouse. Hi, Kristen.
Hello.
And longtime friend of the show, Anthony Foster from the social media team at Nintendo of America. Welcome back, Anthony.
Hey, good to be back.
All right, now, Bill and Kristen, you've been hard at work localizing Animal Crossing New Horizons, which comes out in just a few weeks on March 20th. And I want to know, are you dreaming in Animalese yet?
Yeah, very much so.
I don't know about Animalese, but I definitely see like Isabelle sitting at that desk and giving me the updates. So that's something that I definitely like feel strongly.
Dreaming Isabelle.
Yeah.
That's great. And obviously you guys know this game inside and out. Anthony, what's your experience been like with the Animal Crossing series?
Yeah, so I'm kind of, I guess you would say, new to the series. I didn't grow up playing it super actively, like a lot of people I know. But I'm very excited to play this game on Nintendo Switch. Obviously I watched the direct, super excited. I'm a big fan of just that style of game in general, which is really just kind of like, simulating life in a sense. So yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, I understand there's like all these new additions and changes and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to get in there.
Yeah, and I mean, not only do you have all of the new additions and new features, but even the stuff that's kind of, the core elements that have made all the Animal Crossing games are just still so appealing. And the idea that you can play it at home or take it on the go with Nintendo Switch, I think really works great for this series because, we've had installments in the past that have been for home consoles, and then equally you've had games that have been very popular on dedicated handhelds. So this seems like the best of both worlds. And for myself, I put a lot of time into the first Animal Crossing game back on Nintendo GameCube. I probably had over 100 hours in that one. And then I played Animal Crossing New Leaf on Nintendo 3DS for quite a bit. And the other games I kind of dabbled in. But it's been a while since I've really played an Animal Crossing game, so I'm really feeling it right now as the game's about to come out, that I'm really excited to get back into the flow of it. So yeah, let's dive in and talk about Animal Crossing New Horizons. First of all, as you mentioned, we had the Nintendo Direct recently, which was all about the game. It kind of recapped some of the features we already knew about and introduced some brand new ones. Like, for example, crafting items, the ability to reshape the island, island tours, the Nook Mileage program, party play, the real-world Nook Link smartphone app, all these free updates and seasonal guests, and lots more. So first, Bill, I'd like to start with you. Which feature has you the most interested?
Well, I think the Nook Mileage program is going to be key for me. The idea of sort of almost monetizing your achievements, I think, is pretty brilliant. So you're going to earn a currency for just doing the stuff you'd normally do on Animal Crossing, but now you're getting paid to do that, and then you can spend that currency on some cool gear and upgrades for your character. So I'm not just looking forward to it because of the upgrades and the gear, but they're sort of like potato chips. You can't you can't just start with one and stop. It's very compelling to keep doing these tasks that get you the miles. I try to resist, but every time I open the game, I find myself kind of getting distracted by quests for more miles.
You just want to do one more.
Yeah.
And it pops up again, and you're like, oh, that won't take me that long.
Yeah. I only need 2 fish. I can get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cool how it kind of puts a little stamp down, so you really feel like you've achieved something.
Yeah.
And I think, as much as the game is really about finding your own way and kind of just enjoying it at your own pace, the kind of traditional video gamer in me loves having that guidance sometimes where, there's like a checklist that I can kind of aspire to kind of complete.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great combination. Like, it's there if you really want to. I mean, like you said, just playing the game naturally, you're going to end up getting a lot of those Nook miles and getting the rewards. But you can really aggressively go after those if you want, or just kind of, they're like a nice little extra pleasant gift whenever they happen to occur. Well, Kristen, what about you? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to custom designs. We showed off the custom design app within Animal Crossing New Horizons, and that you can add your designs there, but that also for all of the designs that you've made on Animal Crossing New Leaf or Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, they're not just disappearing. You can take them with you and import them into Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I know I have a lot of designs that I've saved on my 3DS that I want to take over and still use in the current game. I'm just also really excited to see what other people make for the custom designs and be able to kind of borrow them if they've made them available online.
Yeah,
I was
we're totally looking forward to what other people make.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some really talented artists out there that's going to have some great stuff to share. And
Yeah.
and I don't know that I'm necessarily one of those talented artists, but in past games, I've really loved that ability to go in and kind of draw your own pixel art, whether you're putting it on clothing or a flag. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that here. Then the Nintendo Direct, they had some great little throw pillows someone had put on a couch that were decorated with like a custom pixel palm tree design.
Yeah.
That I found pretty inspiring because it just fit the theme of the game so well.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people excited yesterday about putting your own custom design on the mug cup. And people really want to make their own mug cups now. And so I'm excited to see pictures of those.
Oh, yeah, you got to have your own custom mug cup. Of course. All right, now, Anthony, what about you? What really popped off to you out of that Nintendo Direct?
So it's interesting for me because it's like, they're new features. But again, I'm kind of new myself. So they're all new, essentially. I did play a little New Leaf, but still it's new for me. But the ability to kind of like reshape the island and construct things, I thought that was really cool. Kind of just looking at what people were saying, people were pretty excited. Like you could make a waterfall or something cool like that. Just do all kinds of cool things with the different areas of your island. So that just opens up like a window, like all kinds of windows for how you want to decorate your island. So yeah, I'm really excited for that, especially amongst what everybody else has said. So yeah,
it's really satisfying to build the cliffs or take down the cliffs or build your own river. So we've spent a lot of time in Treehouse playing around with that.
No more barriers. You can do whatever you want. When we first came across some of these customization features many months ago, we just sort of looked at each other and were like, oh wow, can't wait to see what the internet does with this.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things. It's like an internet thing where you don't know what you can build until you see what other people can create.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like never ending ideas. I'm sure I'll have an idea and then I'll see somebody else's idea and then I'll be inspired and go back and play some more.
Yeah, there absolutely seems to be a lot more room for creativity this time around, because when you used to visit another player's island in some past games, there was only so much that the island could look different. It's usually the same locations, kind of, shaped a little bit differently, and some people might have kind of unlocked different places that other people wouldn't have. But, if you really wanted to see someone's full creativity on display, you would go inside of a house, and that's where you would see how they decorated it out with the wallpaper and the furniture combinations. And, of course, that's still a big part of the new game, but now at the same time, you can kind of decorate the space around your house. You can have those multi-level kind of like, stairs going up to a higher elevation, and then you've got the waterfall, like you said. So it seems like the islands are just going to be a lot more personalized this time. So I think when you do go to visit a friend's island or go on the island tour and visit a random island, there'll just be so many, the places will really seem a lot different, I think, which will add a lot of variety. And that's actually the aspect that caught my attention the most in the Nintendo Direct, were the island tours, this ability to basically go to a randomized island and find new items and new creatures. And that's something I used to kind of do in a past game where you would take a boat out to an island, I think, and that was a way to kind of get some off-season fruit, if I remember correctly, or a good way to kind of, build up some things to get a lot of bells as well. So I just know I'm going to be going on a lot of these island tours and just seeing what I can grab and bring back to my own island.
Yeah, my wife is also really excited for the game, and so we're planning on playing a lot together. And yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Kind of like, we're right next to each other, but we have two totally different islands and different ideas and styles. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what my dad does with this game. He is a hardcore Animal Crossing fan.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great.
And I know that he plays it in a way that's much different than the way I play it. So I'm excited for him to get his hands on it, build up his island, and then be able to play together and like check out what he's done with the various options that we have this time around.
Yeah, that'll be neat. I want to hear the stories.
Yeah.
That's something I really love about this series is obviously, I being such a big fan of Nintendo games in general, I'm always kind of up to speed on the new games coming out and playing pretty much all of them. But Animal Crossing is one of those series where suddenly everyone in my extended family are aware of it and they're big fans. So my sister and my niece and both my kids are all really eagerly awaiting this new game, and we're all planning to create our own islands and then go with our own Nintendo Switch systems and then go visit each other and see what we can do. So there's going to be a lot of just fun we have as a family around this game, and I get to kind of share my love of Nintendo with everybody else, which is really cool.
Yeah,
I feel like we really felt that while... Oh, sorry.
I was just saying those awesome designs that we're all planning on making too. I'm excited to see what you guys make.
Yeah, I know. It'll be cool to see kind of like a little bit of bragging rights maybe to see who's got the coolest stuff. Yeah.
Telling Kristen earlier, I watched some reaction videos after the Direct last night, and I kept fast forwarding to the part where we unveiled the terraforming and just watching the reactions for those specific part. Those seemed like one of the segments that made Jaws drop the most yesterday. It's
Yeah,
cool to see those reactions.
It is. It's a huge game changer because, and I don't know, maybe other people had been wanting that feature, but it hadn't even occurred to me. And then when I saw it, I just thought, of course you'd have to have that in this new version of the game. It's just a perfect idea.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't think I mentioned it, but the museum, that I'm really excited about that too.
Yeah.
Just because it looks amazing. Like, it's just such a nice compliment to your custom island to have this like really nice kind of fancy looking museum. And I mean, it just looks amazing. I mean, we're talking about reactions. I mean, just even on social media, everybody's like, wow, that looks pretty ridiculous.
They really went all out this time with like the area with the Shark Tank and things like that they saw in the Nintendo Direct. Really gorgeous to look at.
Oh yeah.
Now, one of the great things about this game is that there's just so much to do and you can approach it in like so many different ways. So next I want to ask each of you what your focus will be when you start playing. Like, will you put everything into upgrading your house or maybe collecting furniture or what? So, Kristen, how do you plan to start things off?
I'm definitely more oriented. Mm-hmm. So I plan on hitting the Nook mileage achievements real hard and getting as many miles as I can, as quick as I can, so that I can unlock additional features that are available as the rewards for that. And also, I really want Isabel. And so that's going to be my other goal, is getting Isabel on my island as fast as I can.
Yeah.
That's right, because you have to upgrade that one location enough times to where it's finally in the bigger form that Isabel will appear, right?
The resident services building.
That's right, the resident services.
Yeah, everybody wants Isabel as quickly as possible, I think.
Yeah. So, Anthony, what about you? What's your focus going to be?
Well, I gotta have a stylish place, right? So I'm gonna focus on getting, my furniture right, crafting all those things to just make it a really pleasant destination.
Getting ready for visitors.
Yeah, I have to please the people that are coming to my island. So, and I want to bring new people into my island. So, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna focus on getting that stuff, crafting those things so that I can have like something that looks really good. Meanwhile, I'm definitely gonna, do a lot of things in the background, but that's kind of like my goal there.
That's the first focus. Yeah. Bill, how about you?
So, Kristen and I have significant family obligations for this game. So normally I would probably spend the first couple hours with my dad, setting him up on his island, my wife setting her up on her island, some in-laws, nephews and nieces. But I'm going to be at Game Developers Conference when Animal Crossing New Horizons launches. So I have strategically pre-ordered some copies to be sent to key family members, and I'm going to encourage them to help each other out. But my own personal island, honestly, I might spend the first 2 hours on the beach. We've been so up to our eyeballs in development, and it's just sort of rush, go. And you experience a lot of the game at a breakneck pace, trying to unlock everything as quickly as you can with the tools available to you. So I want to play the game at the intended pace. I want to experience my island at its intended pace, and I'm just going to relax and enjoy the first. I say I'm going to relax for a couple hours. I might just walk on the beach and listen to the sounds of my footsteps on the sand and enjoy the ocean sounds. But in reality, I'll probably go after those mileage, those Nook miles pretty hard, pretty fast, to unlock some of the key features early on.
Well, I mean, you're down on the beach.
Yeah.
Might get in a little fishing.
Yeah,
There's some seashells down there that you could pick up.
Just accidentally get some Nook miles. Yeah.
Vacation activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Relaxing miles. Yeah.
with my experience with the series so far, it's a very audible experience for me. Like sometimes I'll even listen to just Animal Crossing music from past games, and that's honestly one of the most enjoyable parts, I feel like. So in a similar way, yeah, I think I'm probably going to spend some time just kind of relaxing and enjoying that. Hanging out with some of the newcomers on my island, of course. So.
I noticed that with just the Nintendo Direct, that normally when you watch game trailers or videos with gameplay and things like that, it usually has kind of an exciting pumping soundtrack. Animal Crossing just slows it way down and puts you right in that headspace and just gets you in the mood to just take it easy, which is great.
Yeah. The sound effects in this game are really good. I mean, I say the beach because I love the sound of my footsteps hitting the sand.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so relaxing. It's almost got that ASMR quality to it.
Just play with headphones on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely play this.
Sorry,
play this game with headphones.
Yeah. So for me, when I play games in general, I'm always pretty much a big collector. Like if I'm playing a game I really enjoy, I always try to 100% it. Now, I think that's probably pretty impossible, at least for me in an Animal Crossing game. But I think early on, I'm going to set up pretty traditional goals for myself, like upgrading my house, quickly collecting all the core tools, collecting fish and bugs. Anywhere there's something that I can kind of fill out a collection, I think I'm just going to start tackling that. And the Nook Miles is perfect for that, too. So, I'm just going to start diving in and trying to do as much of that as I can. And it's going to be hard to pace myself because this is also a kind of game that's really fun to just, not necessarily marathon on, but just keep coming back to at a regular pace. But I know for the first week, probably I'm just going to be spending as much time as I can spare on the island. It's going to be great.
I'll have to make some regular visits to Chris's museum then.
Yeah.
It should be a really good attraction, I guess.
Yeah, if I can just keep myself from selling those items for the bells,
Yeah.
All right, now we also asked some fans online to tell us how they plan to get started in the game, and I'm going to share some of what they said in the segment we call Player's Pulse. So first up is Maggie, and Maggie says, I love to stock the museum with fossils, fish, bugs, etc. In the old games, I would take the first of each species that I caught to the museum, including fossils. This also helps me make bells and pay off housing things. Since the museum stuff sounds like it might be a later addition, I will focus on making my tent a house and then on furniture. So a lot of what we were talking about, we see Maggie seems in sync, with you, Anthony.
Yeah.
She wants that museum.
Yeah, she wants the good looking stuff. She
Yeah.
wants to be able to marvel at all of her collections first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah. And then next up is Dave, who says, I'll probably start with furniture and a house before I work my way up to the full-on pine forest wilderness retreat I always wanted to make in Animal Crossing New Leaf. This might end up being the first Animal Crossing game I really get deep into, and I can't wait because my fiance has been a super fan for years, and I feel like I'll finally get to really enjoy it with her. So that's great.
That's
That's
awesome.
like we were talking about, too, with family, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a really good relationship activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a vacation together.
It's also one of those games that, because we know that, we share this with our family and our friends, and we know other people are sharing it with their family and friends, we feel very deeply about that when we're writing and working on the text. Like, how is this going to make people feel? Is this going to make them laugh? Is
Yeah.
this joke funny enough for Animal Crossing?
Right. Or will Kristen's dad like this joke is what I think about a lot.
That's right there, just pinned up on the wall. That's the goal.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that seems like good criteria because, I mean, from what I've seen, I'm always entertained by just the dialogue in the game. So,
Yeah.
definitely one of my favorite parts.
These games have a very, very strong charm to them, a very consistent kind of identity, which is great. Next up from Brianna, she says, the first thing I will focus on is the sweet character customization because I can finally play as a character that looks like me without having to wait for my character to tan. So grateful for the skin customizations. Also, completing the museum. I'm so excited. So that's cool that people have more options now to really, and you saw
Yeah.
that in the Nintendo Direct. There are a lot more different types from whether it be clothes or hair types or skin tone, just a lot more options for people.
Yeah, that's great. I'm loving these answers. These are good.
Yeah, these people are paying attention.
Yeah, it's really good because in a sense, sometimes you want to play to kind of get away and have a different experience than whatever you do in your actual life, but you also want it to kind of resemble that. So yeah, I agree there too.
Yeah.
It's like a nice way to be able to customize even more. Yeah.
Next up, Brody says, I personally want to start off by working on my decorating skills. I haven't been great with properly pairing up furniture and organizing it correctly, but with the ability to now lay items outside, I really want to work on improving that skill from the start. Yeah, so you can give your house curb appeal now.
Yeah, I think that was an eye opener back in it was the E3 video when we first showed items being placed in yards, and people kind of lost their minds about that. I think that was really cool. You can make a section of the island all your own, totally personalize it.
Absolutely. And then lastly, we have Lewis, who probably has the best approach planned out, in my opinion. Very similar to yours, Bill, I think. Who says, my focus will be on relaxing and kicking back, enjoying it naturally. There you go.
Good answer.
I mean,
Don't
that's
have
what
to
it's all
plan
about.
it out. Just go with the flow.
That's what it's all about, just kicking back and enjoying it.
That's right. Now, before we move on from Animal Crossing New Horizons, I just want to really quickly let the listeners know that if you stick around until the end of the episode, we're going to have a music track from the game. So you can listen to it, sit back, close your eyes, and start dreaming about your own island getaway. Now we're going to move on to Pros Picks. And as usual, this is where we talk about games that we've been enjoying lately. Kristen, let's start with you this time. What have you been enjoying lately?
I've been playing a lot of Blossom Tales.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a really sweet indie game, top-down action RPG. For me, we did the year in review on the Nintendo.com website around January. And when I was looking at mine, it recommended the game for me. And I was thinking, you know what? I like these kinds of games. Sure, why not? I'll pick it up. And I absolutely loved it. The writing is so charming, and they use the setting really well to affect what's going on in the game. It has a lot of environment puzzles, which I really like. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time on that game recently.
I second that one because I actually started playing that game a while ago now. I think it's been out for a while, and it was one of those that I was getting kind of a Super NES Legend of Zelda vibe from the game when I first saw the entry on the Nintendo eShop, and I saw that it was at a very low price, and so I thought I'd try it out, and I was really impressed with just how big the game was and how polished it was. And like you said, it has a very charming story, and I love the way it's kind of narrated as if it was a story being told to kids. So yeah, I thought that game was really charming and a lot of fun. And it's one that I got really far into and haven't gone back and finished yet. So thank you for reminding me. I got to get back to that one.
Yeah, the ending was enjoyable, so.
Oh, okay, good. I've got that to look forward to then. All right, Bill, what have you been playing?
So my wife and I recently took a Nintendo Switch to her brother's house and introduced him and his family to the Nintendo Switch. But we downloaded a copy of a special edition of Overcooked for them and got them into the 4-player multiplayer sort of co-op, kitchen co-op, and they were just howling. They were laughing so hard. I mean, it was clear that it was a game meant for all ages, and they just had so much fun with that game. And so, yeah, then my wife and I, when we got back home, we picked it up again, even though we'd been through it almost completely the first time. We decided we better revisit that one. It never stops being fun.
And that's a great game that anybody, like any type of gamer, even if you haven't played a lot of games, you can jump right in and start enjoying. Yeah. Cool. Anthony, how about you? What have you been up to?
I recently just started playing this game 1980X on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I've been trying to find out a
Yeah.
bit more about that game because it's got that retro vibe, and I love
Totally.
the 80s, so it seems like it's
Yeah.
right up my alley.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely it's got the retro vibe, and just kind of like the general premise is you're playing all kinds of different styles of games that you would play in kind of like a retro arcade. So it's almost like a bunch of different games in one game, and it pays a lot of homage to like older style of games. If you like, kind of like the runner hack and slash style games, or like top-down shooter games, it has all of that in there, and it's really fun to just kind of like play all those different things kind of like back to back to back, and it all kind of connects to like the story that's going on behind it. So and it's a real kind of chill experience. It's not anything that's like super super hardcore or anything like that. So even though some parts can get a little difficult, it's still really fun. So, and it's super affordable. So I just been playing that, and I'm always playing Super Smash.
Yeah. How
Bros.
many hours are you
Ultimate.
up to now?
I'm at 750 hours now. So
Wow.
That's great.
It's one of those games that's always in my rotation. But yeah, 1980X, I definitely recommend that game. It's really fun.
Cool. Well, I recently got a chance to play Vitamin Connection, which is the new game from WayForward, who people may know are the developers behind the Shantae games and River City Girls, which came out not too long ago, and I really enjoyed. And I had no idea what Vitamin Connection was, and it kind of came out of nowhere on me, but I knew it was from WayForward, so I had to check it out. And it's a game you can play with one or two players. It really shines with two players, though, and it kind of reminds me of Snipper Clips in a way, because two people really have to work together, and you're each doing slightly different things. So the premise is that you're co-piloting this ship that's kind of shaped and colored to look a lot like a Joy-Con controller. And you kind of are tiny, and you get kind of you go inside of like people who are sick, and it's like you're in their bloodstream kind of fighting the germs. And so what will happen is, since you're both co-piloting the ship, one person will be like moving the ship up, down, left, right, and then the player two will be like tilting the ship horizontal or diagonal, and together you're trying to work, get past obstacles. Player one will actually hit the button to activate the vitamin beam, which is how you blast away some of those germs. But player two has to actually aim the beam. And then they have these other items you get, like kind of a claw grappling hook type thing that you both kind of have a role in controlling. So as you can imagine, as you're playing this, and especially as the game gets a little tricky, you're constantly kind of like shouting at each other and laughing at the same time, and just trying to, like, no, go this way, go that way. And it was just a lot of fun. So I had a lot of fun playing that one. It also has a really kind of trippy, dancey, kind of Japanese-infused style to it, with some really fun music. So and that carries over to the visuals as well. So it's a very the game has a very kind of unique look and feel to it. That's just really interesting. So if you like those types of games, especially, I mean, you can play it single player, but if you like those types of two-player games where we're working together, but you're kind of combating each other a little bit too, then I think you should check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to pick that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, next up is Warp Zone. This is the quiz we have every episode where we guess games that came out 10, 20, and 30 years ago. And, of course, this month we're going to be guessing games that came out during the month of February. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
It's as ready as I'm going to be, I guess.
All right. Well, that sounds like a resounding yes to
I'm
me.
ready. Let's go.
All right. So 10 years ago, this is in February of 2010, the clues are Sega published a racing game for Wii and Nintendo DS that put the player in cars, bikes, and hovercrafts, and included superstar characters, plus cult favorite characters like Alex Kidd, Billy Hatcher, and Ryo Hazuki. Any guesses as to what this game is?
Wow.
Oh, this is Sonic All-Star Racing?
Yeah, that's right. It is Sonic and Sega All-Stars
Sonic
Racing.
and Sega All-Stars.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Good job.
Well done.
You said Ryo Hazuki. I knew immediately. So
Yeah, got to drive that forklift.
yeah.
All right, the next one is 20 years ago. This would be in February of 2000. This is a Nintendo-developed game. Nintendo developed a racing game for Nintendo 64 that brought a legendary Namco series to a Nintendo system for the first time, complete with new and classic racetracks and the series' signature arcade-style drift mechanics. Any guesses as to what this could be? A classic Namco racing series appearing on N64. Might even have 64 in the title.
Oh, it's not Ridge Racer.
It is. Yeah,
It
Ridge
is.
Racer
Oh.
64.
There you go.
Nice. You worked it
Got
out.
it right.
All right, the final question. And this would, of course, be 30 years ago in February of 1990. Were you even alive yet, Anthony, in 1990?
I was, but not at this point in 1990. A couple months later, then I'll
All
be
right.
there.
So a couple months before Anthony was born, Nintendo developed a game for NES where you hopped like a frog, swung your tail, and stomped around in a shoe while fighting 7 wand-wielding weirdos to save 7 kings. Any guesses?
I feel like this should be required knowledge for working at Treehouse.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's it. Exactly right, Chris. It's Super Mario Brothers 3.
There were a couple Mario games that came out that year, so
You know what's crazy is first of all, it's crazy for me to think that Super Mario Brothers 3 is now 30 years old, and then crazy to think that just a year after that, in 1991, Super Mario World came out for
yeah,
Super
Mario
NES.
World, yeah.
Of course, Super Mario Brothers 3 originally came out in Japan a little bit earlier than here, but still, that was a great back-to-back year if you were playing Mario games here in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I would say, like, I was, not even a baby at that point, but that was one of the first games that I've ever played. And it still holds up to this day. Great game. So.
Nice.
Yeah, great.
Cool. Well, that's it. I think as a group, we got through all 3 of those. Nice job.
All right, 100%. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, team.
Good job, team.
All right, so next up, to close things out, we're going to do Game Forecast. This is, of course, where we look at games that are coming out over the next month, just a selection of games, a lot more than this, obviously, on the way. But to start off with, on February 25th, we have Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection from Capcom and Rune Factory 4 Special from Marvelous Exceed, and then Samurai Showdown from SNK. And on February 28th, we have Metro Redux from 4A Games. On March 6th, we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX from Nintendo. On March 10th, we have Langrisser 1 and 2 from NIS America. And then on March 17th, a couple more games from NIS America, La Mulana and La Mulana 2. And then on March 20th, Animal Crossing New Horizons from Nintendo. You may have heard of that one. Doom 64 from Bethesda. And then on March 27th, Saints Row 4 Re-Elected from Coach Media. So that's, again, that's just a small sampling, but there's quite a bit there. Did any of those games pop off to you guys at all in terms of what you're personally looking forward to?
Well, yeah, so there's a couple of them that popped out to me. I'm a big fighting game fan. So Samurai Showdown, I know that's been on for a little bit, but I'm excited to play it on Nintendo Switch. So I'll definitely be checking that out. And then Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is one that I'm really excited for, just as a Pokemon fan and having that experience where you kind of get to be a Pokemon, the little role reversal there. That's really exciting because you kind of get to, experience it in a different way than you really experience your, the Pokemon games you might be used to. So, and especially if you've played the original games, then this is really exciting. So yeah, I'm excited for those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played the Blue Rescue Team, but the Japanese version because I was living in Japan at the time. So I've never played it all the way through in English yet. So I'm looking forward to the Nintendo Switch version and experiencing it from a slightly different point of view.
Yeah, I'll definitely play Pokemon anything. And I think I'm going to try that Animal Crossing game. Is that what you called it?
Yeah, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah.
March 20th,
I like
I
Horizons.
believe.
That sounds great.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't know how much time I'm going to have where I'm not on the deserted island, but I do really want to play La Mulana 1 and 2, and I actually think I remember buying the original La Mulana for Wii. I think it was on way back when, and it's just one of those that for whatever reason something else came out or I got busy with something else and never really got too far into it. But I always love to try those types of platforming games where you're kind of running through a maze-like kind of Metroid-like environment. And of course, any game where you can crack a whip, kind of Castlevania style, I'm all aboard for that too. So I'm definitely going to give those games a try.
Yeah, it seems
Nice.
like in March, if you want to relax on an island, you want to be a Pokemon, or get some good fights in, then all your bases are covered.
Oh, yeah, all your bases are covered. That's for sure. Well, Bill, Kristen, and Anthony, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thanks for
Really
having
fun.
us. This is great.
Great. We'll see you on the island.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
That's it for this episode of Nintendo Power Podcast. If you have any comments or questions you'd like us to consider answering on the show, you can email us at nintendopowerpodcast@noa.nintendo.com. Also, we always appreciate it if you can leave a review, and be sure to subscribe so you get new episodes as soon as they're ready. Thanks for listening, and keep playing with power.